Hey everyone, welcome to Cloud Ops with Christian. Today I'm gonna do a tutorial on AWX Ansible installing an EC2 instance. So I do have my GitHub repository, which will have that in the description of this video, of this lab. So if you go through my repository, which is Cloud Ops with Christian, there is a folder, AWX folder, and in there you have a readme file which you do have the setup guide, the prerequisites, and the steps to configure AWX Ansible in an EC2 instance. So we're gonna go through the requirements. We have the prerequisites, which is you need an AWS account and need to have to launch an EC2 instance with these different criterias, which is recommended. It's gonna be if you have 50 gig of storage, OS is going to be Ubuntu 22.04, and these are the different ports we're going to open for our EC2 instance. So let's dive into it. So I'm going to go to my AWS console. So I'm logged into my AWS account, and for this lab you need an AWS account, which is the prerequisite for this lab. And we're going to go to an EC2. So you can either type EC2 on the search bar, or for me, I already have EC2 on my console home. So I'm just going to click on EC2, and it will take you right to the EC2 service. So I'm going to go ahead and launch my instance. So I'll click on launch instance, and then I'm going to give my instance a name. In this case, based on this tutorial description in the repository, in the GitHub account with my GitHub repository with me. So the EC2 instance is gonna be called AWX Lab, and scroll down. You're gonna select our operating system. So we're gonna go with Ubuntu. So click on Ubuntu, and then scroll down. You're gonna click on this drop down and then select the type of Ubuntu. So we're going with 22.04 LTS type. Click on it, and then click confirm changes. We're gonna scroll down. Then we're gonna choose an instance type. So if you look at the readme, it will tell you the instance type which is recommended. So it says T3x large. So you're gonna click on this drop down and look for T3x large. So scroll down, and so right here we have T3x large, which say we has 4 vCPU, 16 gig memory. So just for lab purposes, I'm gonna go with this one. So don't worry about the price, but if you're working in a real environment, of course, this is a recommended EC2 instance to go with. So for this lab, I'm gonna go with this one, and make sure that when you're done with the lab, so you will not incur costs, you should immediately terminate your instance. I'm gonna show you how to do it as well. So scroll down, and then you can select your key pair. You need a key pair to be able to SSH into your instance and run commands that will configure AWX Ansible. So I'll go ahead and choose this key pair since I already have it downloaded in my machine. If you don't have the key pair, you can proceed and create a new key, and then make sure that you download it and know where you're downloading it into. So I will go ahead and choose my network setting where I'm going to host my EC2 instance. So I'll just go ahead and for this tutorial, I'll just go with the default VPC and everything default. I'll just go with creating new security group. I'm okay with SSH anywhere. And then on the storage, so you should go back to our readme. It says storage should be 50 gig storage. So I'm gonna come in here and type 50 gig, right? So we have that, and everything else should be left. Just go through, make sure you selected everything according to the readme, and then we'll go ahead now and scroll down, launch our instance. So while the instance is launching, you will go ahead and click on this, which will take us to the instance, right? So now we are on our instance, so we can see it is running. So go ahead and connect, and then it will take you to SSH client. You're gonna need this link. Copy this link, click on this, copy the link, and then this is what you use to access into your instance. So since I'm using Windows, I'm gonna go ahead and search for CMD, and then now first of all I have to cd to where my key was downloaded. So my key is in the folder, download folder. So go ahead and paste my link, click enter, type yes, click enter, and I am in my EC2 instance. So in here, this is where we're gonna run some commands that will be able to configure and set up AWX in our EC2, AWX Ansible in our EC2 instance. So go back to your README, and the very first command is to install Kubernetes. So go ahead and copy this command and then run it, paste it in your EC2 CMD and click enter. Then grab the next command while that is downloading or getting. Take this command, do the same thing. So paste, click enter, and make sure you see the status as ready, or scroll down, go ahead and grab the next command, which is this one. Copy it, paste, enter. Do the same thing for the next command. Copy, paste, and enter. And the next command as well. Copy, paste, and enter. So take this up a little bit, maximize that. Now we're gonna install the AWX operator, right? So we're gonna go ahead and copy the next command, this one. kubectl create namespace AWX. Copy that and paste and run it. So make sure you do see namespace AWX created, right? And we proceed with this command. Copy, paste, enter. While that is creating, which is that's already been created, go ahead and get the ports for your AWX service. So copy, paste, enter. So you see it is on status container creating AWX Operator controller manager. So it says 0 out of 2 ready. So while that is running in the background, we'll proceed with creating a file, right? So for this command, we actually do have 2 of them which you can use. So you can choose which one you want to go with. It's either you can run the command using this print, you can create a file using this print and paste the YAML content of it, or you can just cut. You can just create it using cut. But I will go for this. I will go with whichever one works with you. That's fine. I will go with cut, copy, and paste that in there. Enter. Okay. I think the structure of the command, that's why we're having an error. So I'm gonna open my Visual Studio Code so we can get the exact structure of this command, right? So I already have my repository cloned, and my Visual Studio Code has opened my repositories. So you can see I do have CloudOps with Christian. This is an AWX folder, and in there I have my README. So this will help. Sometimes GitHub doesn't really put README files accordingly. So I'll just go ahead and copy it from here. So this is the right format of it. So copy, and then I'll go back to paste, enter, and then I'm gonna run cat awx.yaml, and we should be able to see that okay, the file has been created successfully. So if you are able to face that error while running the command via GitHub, you can go ahead and clone the repository to your local, and the README you can open it using Visual Studio Code, which I did, and then from there you're able to copy the command in a good format and paste it in there, and it runs successfully. This is very important. It's good to get those issues, because these are issues where DevOps engineer or developers as well, they do face from day to day. That being said, so the next thing that we want to check is we have to apply the YAML file. So we're gonna copy this one, go to your instance and paste, and it says ansible.com, awx.ansible.com/AWX was created. Okay, now we have that running. The next thing we want to do is get the admin password. So we need an admin password to be able to log in to our AWX Ansible when it's configured, right? And to get that password, we have to use this command. So I'll go ahead and copy this command, Control C, paste it, Control V, click enter, and this is the password. So I'll copy this password and I'll save it somewhere. You should do as well. You should do the same thing, right? Copy the password, make sure you save it somewhere, and don't worry, immediately I'm done with this tutorial, I'll terminate my instance, so my password will not be compromised, or the instance will not be compromised, whatever. So copy the password, save it somewhere, because that's what you need to log in. So I'll copy this password, Control C, and I will save it somewhere. Let me see. I will use Notepad++, like using Notepad++ to save it there. And the next thing that we need to get is, so to ask, now we have our password, and we're gonna actually access our AWX Ansible. So to do that, you can go ahead and copy this link. So this is the port that AWX is open to, right? To actually, you can actually check it if you want. You can, run kubectl get port to see your port from, sorry, kubectl AWX get port. So you want to always make sure that oh yeah, I see my issue now. kubectl AWX get port. Oh, okay. So the right command is kubectl -n AWX get ports, and you will see all the ports running. To see the one, you see it's telling you that the task is still initializing, right? While that is actually initializing the background, the backend, you can go ahead and see how to access your AWX by actually accessing this link, HTTP. First of all, we'll need the public IP of the instance, right? So if we go to our instance, this is the public IP. But before using the public IP to access to our instance, we need to open another port, because right now, if you look at our security group, we have just, go to security, we have just port 22 open, right? So we need to open TCP, right, to the port of it, to the port for the AWX, right? So to do that, go to click on your security group link, and you go to inbound, edit inbound, add a row, select custom TCP, and in here, this is where you put a port for Ansible, AWS Ansible. So it's going to be 3080, and you can put it from anywhere for this tutorial, and just save rows. While that is done, we can go ahead now and grab our instance public IP, which we'll do that in a second. This is it. This is your instance public IP. So click on your instance public IP, come in here, paste the IP, colon the port 3080, then click enter. So you can see AWX is currently upgrading, the page is loading, like a lot of configurations and happening in the background, in the back end. So we're gonna wait for some time. It's gonna take some few minutes, and AWX will be up and running. I'm gonna pause the video, and I'll be back when it's up and running. So we are back, and that took us about 2 to 3 minutes to get up to get running. So we're gonna log in. So the username is gonna be admin, and the password, we're gonna go ahead and grab the password that we saved, copy it, and come in here and paste the password, then click on login. Nope. So this is it. We do have AWX configured in an EC2 instance. You can see we have the jobs, can build jobs, schedule jobs, template, credentials, projects, inventories, host. It has everything, that an AWS, that an Ansible Tower should be able to do. And that is it for this video. In our next video, we're gonna do some configurations, some jobs and projects using Ansible, AWX Ansible Tower to be able to deploy services into AWS account. Thank you guys. See you in the next video. Bye.